All right, guys, so Paul, Beverly, and Daisy here on the Loop Princess. We're on the back deck here. We call it the Daisy deck. That's what it's going to be called. We threw some carpet down here and stuff like that. Anyway, before we get started on this week's video, I want you to make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we surely appreciate it. Thanks. Paul Bates here, and Beverly and Daisy, and today we'll talk about our first 6 weeks of living on the boat, and we'll talk in a few minutes here. We'll talk about a few of the projects we got going on. But to start with, I really want to talk about the couple of the problems that we've had these first 6 weeks. And some of them are big problems. We had a little disaster at Christmas, on Christmas Day actually. And some people could take it negatively and say, hey, it was to me it's a Christmas miracle, you could say. Or some people could go on the negative side of it and say, hey, you lost your AC unit. But it's an old unit and it probably needed to be replaced anyway, so I'm not going to look at it in the negative way. I'm going to look at it as it was a Christmas present for us. But it was definitely a problem that we had to deal with. But one of the other problems we had to deal with this week was our mattress. We bought a brand new custom-made mattress, and we looked underneath it for some reason, and we found moisture underneath it, and it started to mold and mildew a little bit. So we're having to deal with that. First thing we did was we took it, cleaned it, and sprayed it with white vinegar, and she got it all cleaned up and everything like that. And then we got a cover from Target, one of those HEPA covers, and it keeps the moisture off of the wood, but we're not sure if we didn't get all the moisture out from when she sprayed the vinegar in it. But we're going to deal with that problem. We'll let you guys know as we keep going and what we're doing to deal with that problem. But it's a pretty decent sized problem, and we need to deal with it. Next thing that happened on Christmas Day, we get to the boat. We went and visited with some family, and then we came back, and that night about 8 or 9 o'clock, the AC went out, because we use that as our main heat source. It heats the boat better than any of the other heaters, supposedly. We figured out a system, but Christmas Day that night was kind of miserable. We were blowing breakers. The heat wasn't working properly, and it was just, I don't want to say it's miserable, but it was definitely something we had to deal with. And there was a storm out there, and it was kind of miserable actually. It's just cold. Yeah, it was just cold, and Bev was miserable, Daisy was miserable, I was miserable, but we dealt with it, and we got it figured out there. What are you looking at, girl? Huh? Who are you talking to? The AC unit, we dealt with it on Christmas Day, and we busted out an oil heater and an electric heater, and once we got the combination figured out, we didn't have any problems at all. We got the boat, I was able to, in freezing temperatures, get it at 70 degrees, so that was nice. But Christmas night, it didn't go so well. Anyway, let's talk, this week I really want to talk about our heads in this particular boat right here, because the heads are important, and what we have and what we're going to go with. So on the aft head, and that's in our stateroom, in the rear stateroom, we have a Japco toilet, and it's a manual with salt water, and it has about 40 gallons of holding capacity. We pretty much just do number one in that toilet. And we use that particular bathroom, we use it for brushing our teeth, washing our hands, and going number one. Our front forward head, we have about a 15-gallon holding tank. It's a fresh water, and it's an electric head. That one we use for two things. We use it for showering, and we use it for number two. We don't put any paper goods down our toilets at all. Nothing. If it doesn't come out of us, we don't put it down the toilets. No paper at all, period. So that's something that we do, and I think it's a good practice for anything, because that's what over time it'll make your tanks stink if they get that paper built up in them. And so I just don't even deal with it, and we just keep little trash cans up beside each toilet, and we just clean them out every single day. So that's something that we do. All right, so to wrap up the heads on Loop Princess, we can go about probably a month without pumping out. And one of the other modifications we had to make a little shower curtain and snap it in place here for that front head. After we did that, everything on our heads now are probably about as good as it's going to get for this trip. So some of the projects we completed this week was, you can see Bev down here working, and she's taping off the decks because we're going to change colors here. It's just something we wanted to do, and we switched it over to gray here. You can see it right here. So it's something we got done this week. So some of the other projects we worked on this week was more canvas work. We finished putting all the window covers on, all the solar screens on, and now we're building Daisy's deck, what we're calling it Daisy's deck. And you can see right here, I've carpeted it, and then we're putting like a 12-inch border on this bottom rail here all the way around. And that's just to protect her, and it gives her a place, you know, so she's not slipping around, because it's important to us that Daisy has as good a trip as she can with us, you know what I'm saying? So it's important to us that our dog is well taken care of. So we kind of building this back deck for her. So another project that I'm working on right now is this anchor locker. And you can see right here, I've got all my pieces of plywood in there now. Now I just got to get the door mounted in there and get it all sealed off, and it should be done. I should hopefully can complete that this week or the beginning of next week. Also, a little update on the hardtop. It has shipped. It shipped Wednesday, so we should see that this Wednesday is when we're expecting to see it. Also, Pete will be coming out to help us install that. All right, as I'm finishing up this week's video, I just want to share this little ride with you. We took a ride over to the pump out station, and it's really about me getting to know the boat. I get confused because I've always had a single screw, and now I've got twins, and so knowing when to put that into reverse or when to put it in forward, how the boat's going to react and stuff like that. You guys can see the pirate ship here, the Pinta. It's out here visiting. It'll be here for another couple days, then it takes off. But you know, learning the boat, I need to do this every week. I need to pump out. I explained earlier we could probably go a month without pump out, but our front tank it's pretty small, and it has to be pumped out every couple weeks. Otherwise, we're in trouble here. And you can see me coming around the corner here into the canal. And that's Lulu's over on our left there, the world famous Lulu's, Jimmy Buffett's sister. She owns that restaurant right there. Anyway, coming out into the canal here and just learning to maneuver this boat with the twins is, you know, it's a handful when I'm not used to it, and I am getting used to it. And I actually pulled the boat in forward and backwards and did everything with it this time. Just keep maneuvering and keep playing with it so I can get to know it very, very well. Because I really don't want to have Bev out there doing much of anything when I'm maneuvering the boat. But just wanted to leave this end of the video right here. I also did some drone footage I want to show you guys and share with you guys. And what I want you to do is hit that like, subscribe. You need anything, you need any help. If we can help anybody get ready for the loop, if we can do anything for anybody, just reach out to us and we'll give you a hand. We're here at Homeport here for at least another month, and any of the loopers coming through here, we share our vehicles with them. We'll do anything we can to help anybody that we can, especially get started on the loop. Anyway, Paul, Beverly, and Daisy, guys, peace out, and we love you, and we will see you next week. Thanks.